What is happening, you wonderful people? So earlier today, I went to go see the new Spyglass, Mason Gooding, Olivia Holt, Sony horror film, Hard Eyes. And in this film, a masked maniac with glowing red eyes returns every Valentine's Day to terrorize unsuspecting couples. And that's all I can say without giving too much away. Let's talk about it. So I was a little late to see Hard Eyes. I have been trying to save my money to go to South by Southwest, which I am very excited about. I get paid with the job I have right now. The next time I get paid is this coming Monday or Tuesday. And when I do, I will be able to buy my pass to South by Southwest. I'm very excited. My first film festival. If you don't know what South by Southwest is, it is a very big and popular film festival in the Austin area, Austin, Texas area, downtown Austin, and I live in that area. Most of y'all know that, and I'm very excited about it. But anyways, Hard Eyes. I was a little late to see it, but I finally got a chance to go see it today, and people have been raving about this film. People have been like, whoa, it's so good. Like, this is a really good film. And I was like, okay, I like the Scream films. The company and people who made those films made this film. And when I saw the trailer, I got a sense of Thanksgiving. And I was really looking forward to Thanksgiving. I was. And I heard good, decent things about that way. No majority of people like that one. I didn't hate Thanksgiving, I didn't love it either as much as I wanted to. So going into this film and walking out of it, it's fine. It's okay. Let's talk about the positives first and then the negatives next. So starting off the bat with the positives, I really think that Mason Gooding is so fun in this film. He is such a butt, and I love his character in the Scream films, the newer Scream films. I love his character so much, and his character in this film reminded me of his character in the Scream films. And when I was watching him in this film, I was like, man, he's so fun. He is an absolute blast. And when I was watching him in this film as well, I was like, I really hope we truly do see him in the next few Scream films. And his sister, they're twins in the films. I really hope we see them, and it made me wish that we would see the core four. Sadly, we won't see Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Maybe we'll see him in Scream 8, hopefully. But I really liked him in this film. Olivia Holt was great. She was stunning in this film. Their chemistry was truly great. I really liked their chemistry in this film. It kind of took a little bit for their chemistry for them to latch on to each other, and it kind of took a while for us to be like, okay, they're starting to really like each other. They're starting to get to know each other and to start to like each other, you know what I mean? So I really, really like their chemistry, and I gotta say, this movie is surprisingly funny. My favorite thing about this film is the jokes. There's not a time in this film where that I can remember that a joke didn't land. From when I was watching this film, from what I can remember, all the jokes landed. And Mason Gooding was the one who brought the humor, just these lines he was saying, and just his little one-liners and these little quips he was throwing out. And it made his character more likable, and it made his character more fun, and I really thought the film was funny. It was a funny film. And the thing with this film is it's self-aware, just like the Scream films, just like Abigail, just like Thanksgiving, just like any other horror film like this. It is self-aware. It knows what it wants to be. It knows what it's doing, and it knows what it is, and it knows what it wants to do, and it knows what it wants to be. And it's very self-aware. And on top of it all, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's one of those horror movies that starts and finishes, and I wasn't bored. I will tell you that. I was not bored. And I don't have any issues with the pacing. I feel like the pacing was fine. For this type of film, for an hour to 30 minutes, for a horror movie like this, typical runtime for a horror movie like this, the pacing's fine. It's tight. It's self-aware. Doesn't overstay its welcome. And it's a brisk, It's a brisk an hour and 30 minutes long. Hour and 30 minutes. It's fine. But that's all I have for my positives, and really disappointed. But like I said, I had no expectations. So let's talk about the negatives. So first and foremost, the narrative and characterization, or the story and the characters, just no depth at all. And you know what you're gonna get with these films. You know, these characters, while these are two main leads, are likable for the most part, and they're probably the most likable horror characters we're gonna get, like, that we've had in a while, besides the Scream films. You know, they're not forgettable like the characters in Thanksgiving. You know, like, those characters were very forgettable, but these characters weren't so forgettable. You know, because there's a lot of characters we follow in this movie, but throughout the entirety of the film, we really only follow our two main leads. You know, and but it's just a very run of the mill, and just a very paint by numbers, very predictable, and very, you know what's about to happen. You know how it starts. You know what happens in the middle. You know how it's going to end. You know, down plot point wise, what's going to happen throughout the film. You know, and it's just the reveal of the killer. So the reveal of the killer at the end of the film. There are multiple characters in this film that I suspected throughout. Like, there's this character that I suspected, and that character, and that character, and that character, and I'm like, I have a feeling I know who it's gonna be. And there were two characters in here two of these characters I'm thinking about and talking about right now, I suspected to be it. And they were, and I was like, okay. It was just dull and lame. Like, I called it. I knew it was going to be both of them. And when it happened, I was just like, oh, okay. Roll tape. Let's get this over with. Let's get it over with. And it's just, the one thing with this film is that while this is made by the same people, producers of the Scream franchise, you know, while this is made by the same company, Spyglass, who did the Scream films, it feels like it's trying too hard to be a Scream film. And it's not. It's never going to be on the level of a Scream film. And I feel like it tries way too hard to do that, and it falls flat. It falls flat in that area, and it just doesn't work. And you know, the film's not horrible, like, by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not a good film. Like, it's not horrible, but it's not good, you know, and it's just not memorable. Like, nothing in this film is memorable, maybe besides Gooding and Holt's chemistry and the humor, you know, and how it doesn't overstay its welcome, and how it's self-aware, you know, but it's just, it feels at times more like, wow, this is a Valentine's Day film. You know, this is a film about Valentine's Day, but it is a horror film. It's mainly a horror film. It feels more like a romance film than a horror film. And it shouldn't have done that. It shouldn't have gone down that route, you know, and there's typical cheesy dialogue, and the acting is okay. It's fine for what it is, you know, and it's just, they don't try throughout this film to truly sit down, take a minute, and be like, hey, we need to figure out who the killer is. Like, who do you think the killer is? Like, I don't know. Let's try to figure it out, you know? It just feels very anticlimactic. And the way they find out is they take a mask off of the killer. They take the mask off the killer towards the end of the film. And it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then Okay, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. But it just, the ending with the killer, finding out who the killer is in this film, trying not to say too much, it just feels very anticlimactic. And it just, the film overall just really did not work for me. And I was hoping I enjoy it. I was hoping, but sadly, it just did not work for me. And maybe it worked for y'all. I'm hoping it did, but it just did not work for me fully. So yeah, overall, I was hoping I'd like Hard Eyes, but as someone who didn't have any expectations for this film, but as someone who was gonna go watch it, and as someone who was hoping I'd like it, like I hope I like every single movie, and as someone who gives every movie I see a chance, I was really disappointed. I was, and I'm in the minority on this one because a lot of people are enjoying this film. Majority of people are, and I'm so glad y'all are enjoying it. If y'all are enjoying it, I'm really glad. But I am gonna give Hard Eyes a 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It's just not memorable in the slightest, and it's self-aware, doesn't overstay its welcome. Gooding and Holt's chemistry is great. It's super funny, but that's about it for me. So that'll wrap up this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share on this video. We are at 773 subs. Next week milestone is 800, reaching that quickly. And then 9, the big one is 1K, and beyond that as well. And if you're new as well, I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, movie live streams, movie news, movie rankings, all that wonderful movie stuff under the movie umbrella. And again, let's talk about in the comments down below. If y'all got a chance to see Hard Eyes, did y'all like it? Did y'all not like it? If y'all haven't seen it yet, are y'all going to watch it? And if y'all haven't seen it yet, are y'all going to wait to watch it on streaming? Let's talk about it down below. Keep talking movies and wonderful people. Cheers.